Recognize the ranking member of the Oversight Subcommittee, Mr. Green of Texas, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Powell, for being with us today. I greatly appreciate your work, but I would like to take just a few moments to talk about how our legislative bodies have legitimized systemic racism. It's been done by having a Fed that has a responsibility to produce maximum employment, knowing that the 2-to-1 black-white gap, wage gap exists traditionally, and also knowing that traditional actions and methodologies will not change that. But yet, we won't give you the authority to make recommendations or to take actions that would directly target that. It's not your fault. It's the legislative body's fault. We perpetuate systemic racism in your mandate of maximum employment. We also perpetuate it in lending because we know that invidious discrimination exists in lending. We know it exists. And there are laws that will prevent and punish persons who cheat banks. You will be prosecuted and you will be fined criminally if you cheat a bank. No such law exists if you cheat a customer. And we know that black people who are more qualified than whites will get less money when they get a loan and pay a higher interest rate. These are all things that are the case. They're true. So legislative bodies continue to legitimize systemic racism. And the bodies have become so bold now, so many of the members, they're so bold now as to say they're sick and tired of hearing about this. They don't want a discussion about racism and systemic discrimination. They believe that all is well as long as all is well in the white world. But many, they won't say it that way, Mr. Powell, but that's the way their actions would lead one to conclude they have positioned themselves. Many of these people are my friends, people that I associate with, talk to regularly. But there comes a time when you just have to be truthful. Systemic racism can be eliminated. It can be dealt with. We know how to, but we don't have the will to do it. So I don't fault you. I don't fault you. Not one scintilla of blame would I cast your way. It's the legislative body. It's the people who sit on this committee who won't allow laws to be passed, making it a crime to deny a person a loan who is qualified to get that loan. People on this committee who will say they don't want to hear anymore and encourage persons who are professionals, experts, encourage them to push back against talk about invidious discrimination. Systemic racism emanates from the legislative body. And you, sir, are in a very awkward position because I genuinely believe that you'd like to do something about it, but you can't. Creates a sad state of affairs. I thank you for the time, Mr. Chairman, And I yield back.